Look at yourself right now. Yeah, you, sitting there watching this video. If you're a single man over 30 wondering why that attractive woman at your office is flirting with her married colleague instead of you, or if you're that woman who finds herself magnetically pulled toward men with wedding rings, stop lying to yourself for the next 15 minutes, because after this video you'll understand a mechanism so primitive, so brutally honest, that you'll either hate me for revealing it or thank me for finally explaining what's been happening right in front of your eyes. I'll tell you something that happened last year. A guy messages me, 35 years old, successful business, good looking, works out, the whole package. He says, I don't understand these women my age, they're all chasing married guys while I'm here, available, ready for something real. And you know what I told him? I said, buddy, that's exactly your problem. You're available. You're ready. You're sitting there like a product on a shelf with a 50% off sticker, and you wonder why nobody's buying. You think availability increases your value. Think again. Let me paint you a picture of what's really happening here. And pay attention, because this isn't some pickup artist nonsense or dating coach fluff. This is raw human psychology that nobody wants to admit exists. You see, after 30, the game changes completely. It's like everyone suddenly got new software installed overnight, but nobody told the single guys about the update. They're still running on version 1.0 while everyone else moved to 3.0. The single man thinks, finally, I'm established. I have my life together now. Women will appreciate what I offer. Meanwhile, the woman over 30 looks at him and thinks, if nobody claimed you by now, what's wrong with you that I can't see yet? Think about it like this. You go to a restaurant, right? There are two restaurants side by side. One is completely empty, pristine, perfect looking. The other has a line out the door, people waiting an hour to get in. Where do you want to eat? You want to eat where everyone else is eating, because if all these people are waiting, it must be good, right? The empty restaurant might have better food, cleaner kitchen, better service, but you'll never know because you won't even try it. That's exactly what's happening with single men over 30. You're the empty restaurant, but it goes deeper than that, much deeper. And this is where most men get lost in their own confusion. They think women want love, companionship, partnership. Listen carefully. Women over 30 aren't looking for love stories anymore. They're looking for validation of their market value. And nothing validates a woman more than stealing attention from a man who already belongs to someone else. You want to know why? Because when a woman is 22, she believes in fairy tales, Prince Charming, true love, building something together from scratch. By 32, she's been through enough disappointments to know fairy tales are for children. Now she wants proof that she still has it, proof that she can compete, and the ultimate proof, making a man who already chose someone else look at her instead. Here's something you need to understand about the female psychology after 30. These women have spent a decade, maybe more, trying to lock down a man the traditional way. Dating, relationships, waiting for commitment, and for many of them, it didn't work. They're tired, they're frustrated, and most importantly, they're done playing by rules that didn't benefit them. So they changed the game entirely. A married man represents something fascinating to a woman over 30. He's pre-approved merchandise. Another woman already did the hard work. Trained him, domesticated him, taught him how to live with a woman. He knows when to shut up during an argument. He knows when to bring flowers. He knows how to navigate female emotions without running away. He's like a car that's already been broken in. You don't have to deal with the factory stiffness. But here's where it gets really interesting, and most people miss this completely. The woman over 30 who chases married men isn't actually trying to steal him permanently. That's what men don't understand. She doesn't want your marriage. She doesn't want your kids calling her stepmom. She wants the highlights reel without the behind-the-scenes footage. Think about social media for a second. What do people post? The vacations, the celebrations, the perfect moments. Nobody posts themselves doing laundry at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, or arguing about whose turn it is to take out the trash. The woman dating a married man gets to live in that Instagram version of a relationship permanently. Every meeting is special because time is limited. Every date is planned because spontaneity isn't possible. Every moment is intense because it might be the last. Now let's talk about the single man over 30 and why he's become relationship kryptonite. First problem, you're too available. You can text back immediately. You can meet whenever. You have no excuse to leave early. You're like a restaurant that's open 24/7. Convenient, sure, but nothing special about going there. A married man texts at weird hours because that's when he can. Each message feels like a little secret, a small rebellion. A single man texts whenever, and it means nothing. It's just another notification on her phone competing with Instagram and work emails. Second problem, you want too much. The single man over 30 usually wants the whole package immediately. Marriage, kids, Sunday dinners with the parents. You've waited this long, so now you're in a hurry. You're like someone who starved themselves all day and then wants to eat the entire buffet at once. It's overwhelming. It's pressure. And pressure is the last thing a woman over 30 wants to feel. You know what she's thinking? She's thinking, I spent my 20s being pressured to be someone's girlfriend, then someone's wife, then someone's mother. Now you want me to sign up for all of that again? With you, who couldn't even get someone to commit to you in your prime years? Harsh? Yes. True? Absolutely. But the married man, he can't offer her any of that pressure. He can't propose. He can't introduce her to his mother. He can't ask her to move in. All he can offer is right now, this moment, this experience. And for a woman who's exhausted from a decade of failed future planning, living in the moment feels like freedom. There's another element here that nobody talks about, the financial aspect. Oh, you thought this was all about emotions? Wake up. A married man dating outside his marriage is operating on guilt. And guilt, my friends, is the most expensive emotion in the world. He feels guilty for cheating, so he compensates with generosity. That weekend trip? He's paying. That expensive restaurant? His treat? That jewelry she mentioned? Already bought. He's trying to buy his way out of feeling like a bad person. Meanwhile, the single guy is thinking about splitting the bill because equality and modern relationships. Who do you think she's choosing? The single man says, let's build something together. The married man says, let me spoil you right now. After 30, which offer sounds better? The promise of maybe building something eventually, or the guarantee of being treated like a queen today? And here's a psychological trick that happens. The unavailability itself becomes addictive. You know why? Because humans are wired to want what they can't have. It's basic psychology. The single man is always available, always there, always ready. There's no chase, no challenge, no victory. Dating him is like playing a video game with cheat codes. You might win, but it doesn't feel satisfying. The married man is a constant challenge. Will he text today? Can he meet this weekend? Will he leave his wife? These questions create emotional spikes, dopamine hits. It's literally addictive, like a slot machine. You never know when you'll win, but the possibility keeps you pulling that lever. Now, let me tell you about a pattern I've observed over and over. A woman over 30 starts dating a married man. At first, she tells herself and everyone else, it's just fun, nothing serious. She genuinely believes this. She's not trying to break up a marriage. She's just trying to feel alive again after years of disappointing relationships with single men who either wouldn't commit or weren't worth committing to. But then something interesting happens. She starts getting comfortable in this arrangement. No responsibilities, all fun. No, where is this going conversations because everyone knows where it's not going. No meeting the parents, no moving in together, no discussions about kids, just dinners, hotels and excitement. And she realizes this is actually perfect for her current life. She can focus on her career without someone complaining she works too much. She can maintain her independence without someone trying to merge lives. She can have male attention and validation without the suffocating expectations that come with a real relationship. Meanwhile, what's the single guy doing? He's probably on dating apps, sending thoughtful messages that get ignored, planning creative first dates that lead nowhere, trying to prove he's different from all the other guys. But here's the truth. Trying to prove you're different is exactly what makes you the same as everyone else. The single man over 30 walks into a date thinking, I need to show her I'm relationship material. He talks about his stable job, his house, his 401k, his 5-year plan. You know what that sounds like to a woman over 30. It sounds like a job interview for a position she's not sure she wants anymore. The married man walks into a hotel room thinking, we have 2 hours. There's no future to discuss, no plans to make, no expectations to manage. Just 2 hours of present moment intensity. For a woman exhausted by failed long-term planning, this simplicity is intoxicating. You want to know something funny? The single men complain. Women say they want commitment, but they chase unavailable men. Yeah, they do say that. Just like you say you want a nice stable girl, but swipe right on the Instagram model who's clearly going to destroy your life. People say lots of things. Watch what they do, not what they say. Here's a reality check about women over 30 that men don't want to hear. Many of them have been burned by the relationship escalator. You know what I mean? Dating, relationship, moving in, engagement, marriage, kids. That predetermined path society says everyone should follow. They followed it in their 20s, and where did it lead? Divorce, disappointment, or still being single at 35? So when you, single man over 30, show up offering to put them back on that same escalator, they're not interested. Been there, done that, have the emotional scars to prove it. The married man offers an exit from the escalator entirely. It's a relationship that can never progress in the traditional sense, which means it can never fail in the traditional sense either. And let's address something else, the biological clock argument. But women over 30 want kids, or some of you are thinking. Sure, some do. But you know what many of them want more? To not end up as single mothers. And after watching their friends divorce in their 30s with young kids, they're reconsidering whether that biological urge is worth the risk. The married man can't give them kids, not legitimate ones anyway. And for many women over 30, that's not a bug, it's a feature. They can enjoy the relationship without the pressure of deciding about children. The decision is made for them by circumstance. Sometimes having no choice is easier than having to choose. Now, what about sex? Oh, you thought I'd skip this part. The single man over 30 often approaches sex like he's still 22. He thinks quantity matters. He thinks performance matters. He thinks technique matters. But the woman over 30 has had enough sex to know that what really matters is the mental game. The married man brings built-in mental stimulation. The taboo, the secrecy, the danger. These are psychological aphrodisiacs that no amount of technical skill can match. The single guy might last longer, might know more positions, might have better abs. Doesn't matter. The married man makes her feel like a forbidden fantasy, and that feeling is worth more than any physical performance. There's also the validation aspect. When a married man risked his marriage to be with her, that's the ultimate compliment to a woman's ego. It says, you're worth risking everything for. The single man risks nothing. He has nothing to lose. His interest, no matter how genuine, will never carry the same weight. But here's what's really tragic about this whole situation. The single men over 30 who are actually good partners, who would actually commit, who would actually build something real, they're being ignored for men who can offer nothing but stolen moments and broken promises. And the women over 30 who chase married men, they're guaranteeing their own disappointment because these affairs almost never end well. I know what some of you married men watching are thinking. Great, so I'm desirable now? Don't get too excited. You're not desirable. Your unavailability is. If you got divorced tomorrow, you'd lose that appeal instantly. You'd just become another single guy over 30, except now with baggage and alimony payments. And for the women watching who recognise themselves in this pattern, ask yourself what you're really looking for. Because if it's validation that you're still attractive, there are better ways to get it than being someone's secret. If it's avoiding commitment, there are more honest ways than dating someone who's already committed elsewhere. If it's excitement, there are risks worth taking that don't involve destroying families. The truth nobody wants to admit is that this whole dynamic is about fear. Single men over 30 fear they'll never find someone. Women over 30 fear they're running out of time. Married men fear they made the wrong choice. Everyone's operating from fear, and fear makes people do stupid things. You know what's really messed up? The good single men over 30 start seeing this pattern and become bitter. They think, why should I stay single and available when being married makes me more attractive? So they rush into marriages for the wrong reasons, becoming the next generation of unhappy married men who will eventually seek affairs. It's a cycle that feeds itself. And the women who spend their 30s dating married men, they often hit 40 still single, now competing with women in their 30s for the same married men's attention. The validation drug stops working as well. The excitement fades, and they realise they spent a decade in relationships that were designed to go nowhere. Here's something else to consider. Social media and dating apps have made this worse. A woman over 30 can post a selfie and get hundreds of likes, dozens of messages. She feels desired, wanted. But deep down, she knows these men would message anyone. Their attention means nothing. But a married man choosing to risk his marriage for her, that attention has weight. It has cost. It means something, even if what it means is ultimately destructive. The single man on dating apps is just another face in an endless scroll. He's competing with hundreds of other profiles. His thoughtful message gets lost in a sea of "hey beautiful" and dick pics. He's trying to stand out by being genuine in a marketplace that rewards the superficial. No wonder he can't compete with the married man who already stands out simply by being forbidden fruit. Let me tell you something about the married men who engage in these affairs. They're not happy at home, that's obvious, but they're also cowards. They won't leave their unhappy marriages, but they won't work on them either. They want the stability of home and the excitement of an affair. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, and women over 30 are volunteering to be that cake. Why? Because these women have learned that trying to be the whole meal is exhausting. Being the wife, the mother, the homemaker, the career woman, it's too much. Being the dessert is easier. You only have to be sweet. You only appear on special occasions, and nobody expects you to be nutritious. The single man over 30 offers to make her the whole meal again. "Be my everything," he says. "Let's build a complete life together." And she thinks, "I tried being everything to someone before. It didn't work. I'd rather be something special to someone than everything to no one." You want to know the really sick part? Often the wife knows, not the details maybe, but she knows something's going on, and sometimes she's relieved. The affair takes pressure off her. She doesn't have to be the fun one anymore, the sexy one, the exciting one. She can just be tired, comfortable, focused on the kids or her career. The mistress is actually doing her a favour, taking care of needs she no longer wants to meet. This creates a weird equilibrium where everyone's getting something, but nobody's getting everything. The husband gets variety, the wife gets reduced expectations, the mistress gets excitement without commitment. The only one getting nothing is the single guy wondering why he can't get a date. And here's what's going to happen. This video will upset people. Single men will say I'm being too harsh. Women over 30 will say I'm oversimplifying. Married men will pretend they're not watching. But you know what? The truth doesn't care about your feelings. The solution? Stop playing games you can't win. Single men over 30. Stop trying to prove your worth to women who've already decided you're worthless. Stop offering commitment to people who see it as a prison sentence. Stop being available to people who only value the unavailable. Women over 30, stop settling for being someone's secret. Stop confusing intensity with intimacy. Stop using affairs as therapy for your fear of commitment. You're better than being someone's escape from their real life. Married men, either fix your marriage or end it. Stop using other women as band-aids for your unhappiness. Stop being cowards who want change without making changes. But here's the thing, most of you won't change anything. The single men will keep wondering why they're alone. The women over 30 will keep chasing unavailability. The married men will keep cheating. Because change requires admitting you've been wrong, and that's harder than staying miserable. You want to know what's really attractive after 30? Someone who knows what they want and isn't afraid to walk away from what they don't want. Someone who doesn't need external validation to know their worth. Someone who can be alone without being lonely. But that requires work on yourself, and it's easier to blame everyone else for your problems. The dating market after 30 isn't broken because married men are more attractive than single men. It's broken because everyone's trying to avoid the pain of their past mistakes instead of learning from them. Single men are trying to avoid more rejection. Women over 30 are trying to avoid more disappointment. Married men are trying to avoid confronting their unhappy marriages. Everyone's playing defense, nobody's playing offense. So what's the real answer? Stop trying to be chosen and start choosing. Stop waiting for validation and start validating yourself. Stop looking for someone to complete you and become complete on your own. But that's hard work, isn't it? It's easier to just keep playing these stupid games, hoping this time will be different. The woman over 30 who prefers married men isn't broken. She's responding logically to a broken system. The single man over 30 who can't get dates isn't defective. He's offering something nobody's buying anymore. The married man having an affair isn't evil. He's weak, taking the easy path instead of the right one. Everyone's making rational choices based on irrational fears. And until someone has the courage to break the cycle, it will continue. Generation after generation, the same patterns, the same disappointments, the same complaints. You came here wanting to understand why women over 30 prefer married men. Now you know, it's not about the men at all. It's about avoiding pain, seeking validation, and choosing known disappointments over unknown possibilities. It's about fear disguised as preference, cowardice disguised as choice. The single men will watch this and think, so I should get married to become attractive. Missing the point entirely, the women will watch and think, He doesn't understand my situation. The married men won't even finish the video, too uncomfortable. But maybe, just maybe, one person will watch this and think, I need to stop playing these games. Maybe one single man will stop chasing women who don't want him. Maybe one woman will stop accepting crumbs from someone else's table. Maybe one married man will either fix his marriage or end it honestly. Probably not though. It's easier to keep doing what you're doing and complain about the results. It's easier to blame gender dynamics, society, online dating, anything but yourself. It's easier to be the victim of your story than the author of it. So go ahead, prove me wrong, stop being predictable, stop following scripts that lead nowhere, stop confusing intensity for meaning, availability for weakness, unavailability for strength. Start actually living instead of just avoiding death. But you won't. You'll watch this video, maybe share it with friends, have some discussions about it, then go right back to the same patterns. The single men will still wonder why they're alone. The women over 30 will still chase married men. The married men will still cheat. And in a few years, you'll watch another video just like this one, still wondering why nothing's changed. The red button I mentioned at the beginning, it's not magical. It's just the decision to stop lying to yourself about what you really want and what you're really afraid of. But pressing it means taking responsibility for your choices, and that's scarier than any rejection, any affair, any divorce. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep playing a game where everyone loses, or are you going to finally flip the board and walk away? The choice is yours. It always has been. You just pretended it wasn't because choosing is terrifying. Welcome to Dating After 30, where everyone's damaged, nobody admits it, and we all pretend the solution is finding the right person instead of becoming the right person. It's not a love story. It's a horror story. And you're both the monster and the victim. The truth is, women over 30 don't prefer married men. They prefer the absence of pressure, the illusion of choice, the fantasy of being special. Single men over 30 aren't rejected because they're defective. They're rejected because they represent a future that already failed once before. Married men aren't more attractive. They're just safer bets for women who've stopped betting on forever. Everyone's trying not to lose instead of trying to win. And when everyone plays not to lose, everybody loses. That's the game. That's the truth. That's why you're here watching this video instead of being in a healthy relationship. Change the game or keep losing. Your choice. But stop pretending you don't understand the rules. After watching this, you understand perfectly. The question is, what are you going to do about it?